I'm 37 years old. And behind my back, there is plenty of different projects in different countries and different professional fields. But to be honest, for many years, one question was driving me crazy for a long time. And the question was, so what's your profession? You know, I was born in a really usual post-Soviet family. At home, it was a lot of books and films, and we were visiting a lot of exhibitions and theaters, with only one exception. And the exception was that my parents never stopped me almost from anything. And, you know, honestly, I was jealous of those kids who had this clear idea of their future, who were following their family path, who've been told from really early childhood that you have the only direction, the only university, and the only profession. And of course, looking back now, I understand that my case was a real gift. But back then, it felt more like a challenge. And, you know, years passed, and still, every 7 to 10 years, I'm changing my profession over and over again. And each time, it's super scary. And each time, it's very stressful. But I found one interesting pattern. When you're saying honestly, the guys, I don't know almost nothing, but please let me in. I'm ready to learn. I'm ready to become a student again, and I want to become a professional. And somehow it works. Somehow people believe you, and they're letting you get in. That's how I found myself many years ago in Contemporary Art Gallery. Honestly, I sent a huge, long read letter when I was describing why I want to become a part of this gallery. Later, it was a company organized international exhibitions, and it was the same way. I just called to the company, I talked to the owner for 1 hour, and I was also describing why I should become a part of them. And, you know, I remember when we just started my beloved project, Wine Factory #1 in Tbilisi, and we first came to this unique, beautiful territory with this beautiful garden, with this unique building of 19th century. In the very first meeting with investors, we decided not to change anything, to preserve as many details as possible. That's why, first, we kept the name Vinys Karkhana, which means wine factory. First, in the very first meeting, we decided to find as many details and archive photos and to preserve those beautiful balconies, probably you remember them, and all shushabandis around the facade. That's how we preserve the huge wine barrels and restore them to art objects, and even one tiny bench right under the tree. And we like to think that the great Georgian artist, filmmaker, Otar Yoseliani, during he was filming Falling Leaves in 1966, he also was sitting in exactly this bench. Why I'm saying that to you? Because most of the time, people think that if something works, it's the money, or it's expensive solutions, or it's big investment. But in reality, it's not. It's the story behind the project, because people love stories. That's how you remember things most. And professional in project field, we have this concept of zero stage. What's zero stage to me? It's like a first date. You have to understand who's actually in front of you, because otherwise there is a big and a high risk to make a mistake, both good things and bad things. And in project language, we have to study as many details as possible before to start any project. You have to study its DNA. You have to study even its neighborhood. And there is a small, life hack from my side. Talk to the neighbors. Talk to the people who's actually living for a long time nearby your project. They can tell you a lot of beautiful different stories, and you can cut them and actually to use it. Even like the grandma or children, or especially the old man who lives there for 50 years can tell you beautiful stories. That's how we actually worked also with the wine factory project. If you're gonna have any questions about it, I can tell you later. And you probably also know people, I call them hero mode. It's those people who pushing hard, they're moving forward, they keep going, but for a long time, for many years, they're not believe what they do. They're even disappointed what they're doing. And they actually keep coming to this office every day because it pays bills. It pays bills, really. But the problem of this strategy is that the cost is very high. It's your lifetime. And to me, intuition, it's like inner traffic light. It's red or it's green. And when you're in sync with this feeling, this inside feeling, you can join the project for a very short period of time, for a very short season, and still to create something meaningful, something powerful. If not, there is a question if we're able to do that or not. And the same works with the people. The same works with professional teams. You have to, from the very first meeting, answer the question, can you empower each other? Because people, they're like bricks. They need to feed each other. And sometimes project may be wrong for you. And sometimes you may be wrong for the project. Unfortunately, based on my experience, a lot of investors and managers, they're trying kind of to skip this zero stage. They're thinking it's something optional, something unnecessary. But in reality, it's the foundation of everything, of the future of the project, and the future, how powerful would be the team. And today, my intuition tells me that the real value, it's not in walls. It's in people inside the walls. And yes, I'm in a new field again. And it's very stressful and it's very scary because I decided to switch from material spaces to human development. And not just for the human development, but the kids. Because unfortunately, I'm not able to do anything with today's adults, with us. But I can try to help to shape the little ones. And I don't want to become a teacher in a classic way, in a traditional way. I want to become a guide who's going to help, not giving right answers, but try to help to ask better questions. And maybe in the future, it will help to create better investors also. Now I understand that, yes, 37 years old, I still can change my profession for another 100 times. And it's not my weakness, it's my superpower. And imagine if each of you can start your day, not from answer, but from the question, from this inner feeling, yes or no. Because the real value in reality doesn't have the fixed form, because we're waking up every day and we're new. So imagine if you can ask yourself, I'm in the right spot, I'm in the right space. And I do think if we can do that, it could change a lot. Thank you so much.